I've worked in telecom for 12 years. My job is simple. I climb cell towers, repair them, make sure the signal keeps flowing. Phones don't work without people like me, and usually the worst I deal with is a few angry wasp nests in the metal rafters. But there's one tower I'll never forget, one I was never supposed to touch. It sits outside a tiny forgotten town in the Midwest, the kind of place you drive through in 2 minutes flat. One gas station, one church, one bar. The company database called it Signal House Station 6A, just a standard tower on paper. But when I pulled up, I knew immediately something was off. The tower didn't hum like the others. Normally, you hear a low buzz from the power lines, the steady beep of relays. This one was silent, dead quiet. Too quiet. Even the crickets weren't chirping. At the base of the tower was a small building, half utility shack, half office. The door was open a crack, like someone had gone inside and never come back out. I stepped in. The air was stale, and the fluorescent lights flickered weakly overhead. Rows of disconnected landline phones were lined up on the wall, dozens of them, maybe 100. Old rotary dials, plastic push buttons, all wired into the tower somehow. And every single one of them rang at once. Not the cheerful trill of a phone. No, it was deeper, heavier. A kind of ringing that made my teeth ache and my chest vibrate. I pulled the nearest receiver off the hook just to shut it up. That was my first mistake. A voice hissed through the static. Not a person, not a machine, something in between. Words I didn't recognize, but my brain still understood them somehow. It whispered, "Now you've answered. Now you belong." I dropped the phone and stumbled back, my heart pounding. The ringing stopped instantly. Every phone in the room went dead silent, and for a moment I thought maybe I had imagined it. But when I checked my cell, the screen had changed. My provider logo was gone. In its place, just one word: Signal. I wanted to leave right then, but my truck wouldn't start. The dashboard clock spun in circles, clicking uselessly. And outside, beyond the tower, people were gathering. At first, I thought they were locals, maybe coming to ask why I was there. But as they got closer, I saw they weren't right. Their skin looked washed out, grayish, like they hadn't seen sunlight in years. Their eyes didn't move. They just stared, unblinking, faces slack. Each of them held an old phone in their hand. Corded, disconnected, but the phones were still ringing. I locked myself inside the shack. The phone started again, all at once. Ring after ring after ring, shaking the walls. I tried calling my supervisor, but my cell only connected to one number. When I answered, I didn't hear him. I didn't hear anyone. I heard myself. My own voice, but wrong, slower, stretched, whispering, "Now you've answered. Now you belong." The people outside pressed their phones to the windows, and for a second, I could hear what was on the other end. Screaming, begging, dozens, maybe hundreds of voices, all overlapping. Some were children, some were old, some sounded like they'd been screaming for years. And underneath all of it, one deep, constant tone, like the heartbeat of something enormous. I tried everything to escape. I climbed the tower, thinking maybe I could cut the power. But at the top, instead of antennas, there were speakers. Massive, rusted horns aimed at the town, and they were pulsing with that same low tone. I covered my ears, but it vibrated through my bones. My nose started bleeding. My vision blurred, and when I looked down, the crowd had tripled. More of them, all holding those ringing phones, staring up at me. I don't know how long I stayed up there, clinging to the metal, trying not to faint. But when I finally climbed down, the shack door was closed, locked. And when I looked through the window, I saw myself inside, standing there holding a phone to my ear. I ran, through the fields, down the road, anywhere. And eventually the tower disappeared behind me. My truck worked again. My phone screen went back to normal. For a while I convinced myself it was stress, dehydration, a breakdown. But then the calls started. Every night at exactly 3:03 a.m. my phone rings. No matter if it's off, no matter if the battery's dead, it rings. And when I answer, I hear the same whisper, "Now you've answered. Now you belong." Last night I woke up and found an old rotary phone sitting at the foot of my bed. I don't own one. I never brought one home. But it was there, and it rang once, loud enough to shake the floor. I think the tower followed me, or maybe I never left. So if your phone rings in the middle of the night and the screen just says signal, don't answer it. Because once you do, it won't ever stop. And sooner or later you'll hear your own voice on the line. And that's when you'll know you belong too.